Alright guys, we're back with another video. We are gonna talk about characters in this video because I did start this with Bankai form Ichigo in Bleach Soul Resonance, giving you guys an in-depth guide on the skills and abilities for Bankai form Ichigo in Bleach Soul Resonance. And I'm gonna continue the series by giving you guys information for Zaraki Kenpachi this time. And he is so broken. We're gonna talk about him today, but as I mentioned before in my previous video, I really want to bring hype into this game as much as possible, so giving you guys some information about the characters would be really nice. And as I already told you guys, Rebirth of Souls is pretty much hyped up right now. We have a release date for that, so we're still waiting for the release date for Bleach Soul Resonance, but either way, let's see what happens. But today, let's talk about Kenpachi, guys. So Kenpachi is one of my personal favorite characters in Bleach, right? And he's amazing. So before I talk about Bleach Soul Resonance Kenpachi, let's do a quick compare and contrast to Rebirth of Souls. And I didn't have a chance to even react to Kenpachi's trailer. And what I really noticed is that Kenpachi in Rebirth of Souls is actually kind of similar to Soul Resonance when I look at the skills. He does have like some type of stance, like on a special move, like he applies some type of resistance, and he just applies like some type of flurry of attacks and here and there. He does a lot of damage, literally. And not only that, he does have an awakening similar to Soul Resonance, and he does even more damage. I mean, bro, both Kenpachi in Rebirth of Souls and Soul Resonance does it right for this character, and I'm super excited to play both. So we're going back to Bleach Soul Resonance here, and take a look at that, man. This is what I like about Bleach Soul Resonance. See that impact frame? This is the alpha test, and Kenpachi looks absolutely amazing in this game, bro. The alpha test we're talking about here. Even though this is like not that best quality, you could already see that entrance was so freaking good. So I just want to point out here that Kenpachi is a boss battle. It's part of a boss battle mode as well as a playable character. And both of these characters have different variations on the skills, where in the boss battle version, he does some crazy shit because obviously it's a boss battle, because you gotta have some crazy shit for a boss battle. So I just want to make that point clear right there. So we got the playable Kenpachi right here, and let's talk about him, guys. So as I said in my previous video for Bankai form Ichigo, like this is not the final version, so some things might change, right? But not entirely, right? So the same game mechanic would be there, right? So let's start off by talking about his passive ability first. So as I mentioned in the very beginning of this video with the Rebirth of Souls, he does have some type of resistance in his passive ability. Basically, Kenpachi gains the ability to resist interruptions consistently, and it'll be removed when he takes damage that exceeds 5% of his current health. When Kenpachi is in Battle Demon status. So I think Battle Demon status when he actually transforms. So that's the status he gets. The maximum damage that skill can be withstand is increased to 1000% of his current health. So I've been talking about Kenpachi a lot, man. His transformation is what makes him so freaking OP in this game. Like literally, he does some crazy stuff. So he does have a passive ability. He does have another passive ability where he gets resolve, and that's when he activates his ultimate, right? So he gains like some type of resolve meter like at the very bottom, and then he gains that to ultimately gain that final ultimate skill. He got the transforming skill, which is part of the second skill, and then he finally has that ultimate skill at the very end. So let's talk about normal attacks for Kenpachi here. So Bankai form Ichigo has two different variations on his normal attacks. Just like that, Kenpachi has one too, but it's also part of his evasion. And I briefly talked about how they could come up with crazy things with evading enemies' attacks. So his normal attack is pretty simple. Kenpachi slashes at the enemies in front of him, dealing up to 6 rounds of X% damage in total. But there's a different variation for the normal attack when he evades. So after each evasion, immediately tap the normal attack button to make Kenpachi leap and rush to the enemy, dealing 52% damage. This attack is considered a normal attack. two different variations on the normal attack for Kenpachi right here, guys. So far Kenpachi looking good here, guys, but let's take a look at the first skill, his primary main skill, and this is the skill right before he transforms, like before he takes out the eye patch and does some crazy shit, right? So this is a skill that gives you damage resistance, and it's also a charged attack. So while holding the skill button, you are entering the charged phase, continuously gaining ultimate skill energy. And when they mean by ultimate skill energy, I believe like energy to transform, because that's going to be different when he actually transforms. And he does have another charge skill, but that is actually gaining ultimate skill energy. But I think the wording is kind of different here. While also reducing the damage he takes. The damage reduction effect will gradually increase during the charged phase and reach a maximum of 90% damage reduction after 2 seconds. After releasing the button, Kenpachi will transform his accumulated power into a sword beam slash. All that in one skill is pretty good, and that 90% damage reduction, I mean, that's what Kenpachi is built for, guys. So as you gain energy from using the first skill, he's able to transform. And obviously you guys know what he does. And when he transforms, he removes the eye patch, he becomes more powerful. But as he transforms, he does some type of damage. He does swing his blade and deals X% damage as well, while also gaining the passive ability Immortal status, which resists interruptions that I talked about previously. So when he transforms, he does get another passive ability where any type of skills he do, he actually gains ultimate skill energy for his actual ultimate skill. So one way to actually improve and gain as much ultimate energy as you can is using his first skill, which is a different variation, right? Now it's completely different. So when Kenpachi is in the battle demon status, which is considered like the transform status, if you hold the skill, continuously swings his Zanpakuto forward, dealing a total of X% charge damage. So next thing he talks about is having like some type of 5 stacks where he tries to accumulate that, where every time he tries to attack, and then when you tap the normal attack button to immediately release a sword beam with a fully charged damage. So basically prioritizing the skill is really good, because not only you're doing a crazy amount of damage right here, but you're also gaining really good ultimate energy to get that ultimate in pretty quickly. And then finally, he's able to use his ultimate skill. And by the way, this ultimate skill for Kenpachi in this game is so freaking good, guys. Really good. And obviously, he's gonna do a ton of damage. Not only from his transform state, having additional buffs, it's just insane. So the last thing is his block, the Bigetsu block. And as I mentioned previously, that all characters have some type of skill activates when they're doing a official like perfect block. And for Kenpachi, he counters the enemy's attack and strikes, dealing X% of damage, while also gaining the immortal state, which is the passive ability. So that's pretty simple for that. So just to summarize, Kenpachi is a really good character to pick up in Bleach Soul Resonance if they don't change a lot of things. I mean, this is still the early build, right? So he does have good skills, he does have 2 passive abilities, he does have damage resistance, transformation does a lot of good damage. So overall, he's so good. Even when I played him in the alpha test, he was completely broken in my opinion. He was like top tier. So hopefully we get the same Kenpachi here, but let me know what you guys think about this build, and see you guys in the next video.